Awesome. Good morning. This morning's practice is a Galentine's practice. The day before Valentine's Day is known to celebrate girlfriends and friendships. So we're going to do some heart opening poses, a heart meditation, and we're sort of a little different than our one we had last week, which means we're going to start seated, then we're going to move to a portion of kneeling poses, and then from kneeling, we come onto our tummy actually, and then to standing before returning to the mat. Okay, so just finding a comfortable cross-legged position. We're going to try a hand yoga position just to start our practice. You're going to take your index finger and you're going to curl it up and away. You're going to take your thumb and then touch it to the end of your middle and your ring finger, leaving your pinky up, sort of like you're holding a hot cup of tea. Your pinky is up. You put that on your leg. You're going to do it on both sides. So index finger tucked away. The thumb touches the end of the ring and the middle finger. And again, your pinky is sticking straight out. Your eyes are going to close. Get a deep breath in through your nose. When you exhale out the nose, you're going to hear the sound yum, sort of vibrating out your nose. You breathe in, and a yum or a sigh as you breathe out. Continue on your own, maybe 4 more deep breaths. For the next 2 breaths in, every time you exhale, I want you to press those ring and middle finger more firmly against your thumb. So exhale, hum on the way out, and press, 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 press. Deep breath in. And again, exhale, press, 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 press. And then start to just breathe normally again. That hum sort of drops away. And then you slowly uncurl your fingers, giving all 10 of them a wiggle. Turn your palms then face down on your knees. Drawing your chin down towards your chest. You begin to roll out the neck. So that hand yoga position is specific for heart health. And it would be commonly done if you're a person who maybe has high blood pressure or at periods of time when you feel your heart is racing. Let's end up with that right ear over the right shoulder now for a pause. Let's hold the head if that feels extra good. And we'd always, take that left hand off of our leg onto the floor to add to that neck stretch. If it's too much, it's no hand or no hand on the head. Part of today's theme, right, is loving kindness. So making any and all modifications that just feel best for you today. We're gonna take that right hand off of our head. We're gonna lean to the right now with our whole body. So we had the hand position to target the heart and breathing. And then the focus on the sound yam, Y-A-M, is believed to be the chakra sound for your heart space. So you may have felt when you were exhaling, sort of making that sound, it vibrates right into your chest, rather than maybe just focusing on our normal nasal breathing, where I find I feel it in the back of my throat. We're going to take this top hand down finally onto our right knee, and our right hand goes behind our body, taking a nice seated twist. When you inhale, sit up a little taller. And then exhale, pull on your knee just enough to twist you a little further. Good. As we come back to the center, let's uncross the legs, cross them the other way. So the other one in front or on top. I should have pointed out, if sitting on the floor cross-legged, right, is uncomfortable, you could sit up on the pillows, put your blocks underneath your knees. Okay, let's go back to that hand position. So curling in the index finger, thumb touching ring and middle finger, and the pinkies stick out like you're holding cups of tea. You rest them on the lap. Now that we know what's going on, we're gonna sit a little taller. We're gonna take a really noticeable inhale through our nose, pressing our thumbs and index fingers together. And then as you exhale, relax the whole body. Inhale, press. Exhale, yum. Inhale to press. Exhale the sound yum, vibrating down into your lungs and chest. 2 more times for me. Inhale, press your fingers tips together. And exhale, yum. Final round, deep breath in. And yum. Open the fingers, give them a wiggle. Turn your palms down on your lap, draw your chin down. And as you breathe more normally, just rolling the neck. So it has turned a bit colder over the last week. So maybe we're finding our neck muscles a bit stiffer as we've sort of gone outside without a scarf maybe, or a jacket zipped right up. We're gonna leave our ear now over our left shoulder. And then you pick your options here. This might feel like a great stretch and you can stay. If you add more, you can apply the hand to the head or draw the fingers towards the floor. Good. Gently release the head. If you're holding it, bring the right hand over your head. Side bending, that stretch shifting down into the ribs, into the side of our body, our big breath into the side here. And as you exhale, try to bend your elbow onto the floor or crawl your finger further off your mat. Good. Hand lowers to your knee. Left hand crawls behind your body. Sitting up really tall. And always using a little bit of an exhale when we're pulling on the side of our knee. You're trying to draw the top of your head up. So easy in this one to sort of exhale, and I find myself even starting to slouch back down, especially because it's the morning or because we're tired. We're trying to keep those spaces between our discs. Good. Now, as we unwind ourselves, we're going to make our way to kneeling. If your kneecaps are sensitive this morning and you have a blanket, put that blanket under your knees. And if this morning your wrists, for whatever reason, are feeling a bit more sensitive, the blanket could also go under the wrists. I also just like folding up my mat for my wrists. So we're in our kneeling position. We know we're going to head to down cat and cow. So let's take an inhale, broaden through the chest, eyes look up your wall, and then exhale, eyes tucked down, rounding the back. Couple of these just on your own now. Moving your back through its maximum range of motion. Good. Finish your last one here, flattening your back. And then walking your hands up and in towards your thighs, which are going to come right up on your thighs. I'm going to face towards you so you can see, but you can stay facing the way you are. You're going to take your right leg off to the side. It'll probably be off your mat, and that's fine. You're going to reach both arms up and then draw yourself over to the right. That right hand coming onto the leg gently and the left one over the head. We were here in seated cross-legged not too long ago. The stretch now is bigger down the side of our body, down even into the hip or down the leg. Take 3 more large breaths in for me. Really draw the ribs up. Fingertips are light on your right leg, sliding them down softly. Good. Let's inhale, come all the way up. Take those arms out across the room. Stretch your arms out. And then exhale, take the left hand now to the floor. Now you might stay just like this. This is a great variation of side plank pose. If you're thinking, I want a little challenge this morning for my core, get that heart rate up, you might slide the bottom knee out. Okay? Just be noticing of your wrist. Strong, spread fingers, eyes are up at your ceiling. See if you can take 2 final deep breaths in. Good. Return the arm and the knee back together. Take a big breath in, stretch out. Take the arm to the other side. Let's lean into our gate pose, this is called. So again, not so much on side 1 for me, but this side, I definitely can feel that I'm pressing into my leg quite firmly. When you try and relax that bottom arm, let the fingers just slide. Push your hips forward. And again, if it's really bothersome on the kneecaps, then you can try this one again with the blanket under the knees. Let's draw ourselves all the way up. Really stretch your fingers end to end in your space. Big breath in. Exhale, start to head the opposite way. There we go. Top arm stacks. If you're using your camera, you might be able to check yourself. This is a great reminder of how the arm should be also in triangle pose. A beautiful straight line from end of the left fingers down or diagonally down the chest and down the bottom arm. So it's never out of alignment, which sometimes happens in triangle. Okay, you know the option, I should have said it already, to slide the knee out. You haven't already, slide it there. Let's all together just take 2 more breaths in. Good. Slowly and gently rise back up. We bring that knee in, and this time we're going to sit back on our heels. I'm going to turn sideways again so you see what I mean. We're going to sit back, and I've tucked my toes under. I'm going to reach back for my heels. We're going to try camel pose. So eyes start to look up, and you're going to lift your bum a little bit if you can away from your legs. Might be a big one or just a small lift. And then slowly lower your bum back down. And slowly rise back up on those knees. I'm going to point my toes at the back. Slip my hands onto my low back now, just pinching my elbows back behind me. Hands securely on my pelvis and low back. I look up with my eyes again. So both here are versions of the camel pose. The first way we did it is a bit more advanced, right? But we might have been feeling it, or I felt it this morning, all in my legs. Where this variation, holding the back secure, maybe I'm not going as far backwards, but opens the chest, opens the throat. Taking 1 more breath in. And exhale, eyes come down. And you get that relief of knowing that we're heading on to our bellies. Hands under the shoulders, slide your legs back. Coming down onto your tummy into Sphinx pose. So hands are on the floor, elbows are on the floor. Legs are together if that's uncomfortable, slight space. And then let's raise that chest up. So you're looking sort of straight across your low floor towards their wall. Each time I breathe in here, I try to press into my elbows, try and raise the crown of my head up more. As I exhale, I just try and hold that new height or position. And then I take another deep breath in. I'm rising myself again, feeling the top of my head coming towards the ceiling. Amazing. Slowly lower your cheek down. Place that right cheek onto the floor. Close your eyes. Let your hands go back by your hips. So these back bends up from our belly, they're called, can quite energize us. They're great in the morning, wake us up. And so each time we come to rest, you might just notice your thumping heart rate into the floor. They're going to build a little bit in intensity. Again, if anything becomes too strong, we'll just go back to what you like. So something like that Sphinx pose we just did. Let's turn our head back to the center now. And let's keep the hands back by our hips for locust this morning. So we're going to inhale, raise the eyes, chin, and chest up. Just like we did, about the same height as Sphinx. Lift the arms, press them into your legs. And then if you got anything left, lift the feet off the floor. So the work of your back here to do this, if it's too strong this morning, you can always put those feet back down, focusing on just the upper body squeezing. And then thinking about our neck, we're going to tuck your chin in, look a little more towards your floor. There is this tendency to want to look forward. But if we look forward, then we can tend to get a bit of a too much extension in our neck. We're going to feel this through our mid to low back, through our glutes, squeezing. Together, we take one more inhale, get a little bit higher. And then exhale, we all together lower down. Turn your head the other way. Just check how the neck is feeling to turn the head the opposite direction. Returning the head to the center. Sweep that right hand under your head. Your left hand is going to reach back for your left foot. We try like a little dancer's pose here. So we're going to take our inhale and we're just going to raise our face up. We're going to raise our left toe up to the ceiling. Good. Each inhale, I feel like I could lift my leg a little higher and my chest a little higher. Then I exhale and I try and again hold that spot. Inhale, I grow. And now if you can't grab your foot or ankle this morning, it's feeling super tight, of course you can hold your bottom of your legging, or you could reach around if you did grab your strap. It could be used here. Release it all the way down. Let that head come right down on your forearm. Release the leg and take your time changing to side two, right? Those transitions here are so important. Move very gently and slowly to side two as we bend in the left side, or the opposite side, I should say. Reach for your foot. And then start to breathe in. That rises your eyes, chin, and chest up and raises that foot up. It's called the dancer's pose. It's normally done in standing. It again is a big back bend. We can feel it through the quad, the groin, the upper chest or back. And even though these section of our class is all what we call face down or belly on the ground poses, they are still very intense. So listening to your body. One more deep breath in. We get as high as we can. And then exhale, we melt ourselves back down. Good. Hands back slowly. Let's just stack our head for a moment, just on two hands. Legs are straight. Let those heels fall a little bit apart. Those hands under the body, legs zip together. Let's take a nice big breath and draw that chest up, 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 up. Good. Cobra pose. So cobra pose is distinct in that your pelvis remains on the floor. But now you've risen up a lot higher. So those couple previous poses now have aided us. I feel like I'm much higher than I would normally be in the morning. Drawing the crown of the head up on my next breath in. And an exhale that drops both shoulders down from the ears to the cheeks. I inhale, I draw my chest more proudly up and forward, just like we did in cow pose. And as I exhale, I energize the legs a bit. I feel like they're very strong on the floor. Take 2 more deep breaths in. And then slowly melting your way back down. One final belly down back bend. We're going to aim for upward facing dog pose. So in upward facing dog pose, the pelvis now is going to come off the ground as well. Same amount of lift as cobra. So let's inhale together, press up. And then lift our pelvis off the floor. You might be then on your knees. Okay. And if you can, you press onto the top of your feet and you lift your kneecaps off the floor. It takes a lot of core strength to hold this one. So it's sort of like a plank whereby you're balancing on the top of your feet. Feel the energy, the heat. See if you can stay for 2 more breaths in. 1. And then knees, thighs, stomach, nose melts to the floor. Before we get too comfortable there, push back into child's pose. Let's take a rest in child's pose this morning. Knees any distance apart that's comfortable. Bum melts back, fingers crawl forward. Try and let your head touch the floor. Now, if it's not touching the floor, you can bring one of those arms in as a fist underneath your forehead or 2 fists, or you can grab a block and put it under your head. Crawl your fingers all the way to your right-hand side. If you have a block under your head, bring that block with you. You can place it over there. Use your right hand to grab your left wrist. Give that left wrist a big pull. Try and breathe down the left side of your body. And crawl the fingers all the way to the opposite side. So many yogis say that these sort of face down poses, curling yourself in, are for self-compassion, sort of protecting your heart space, protecting your energy and your time. And then those big chest opening ones like we just finished with, our cobra or upward facing dog pose. Those are sort of increasing our compassion of the world around us. As we return our hands back to the center point, we are going to rise off our thighs. And we are going to bring our right foot up by our right hand. We're going to take our time here to rise up into warrior 1. As you come into your warrior 1, take your time. You can feel a little dizzy if you've been down that low. Make sure the back toes are slightly turned out. My front toes are straight ahead. And we start with some arm circles. This was part of our January sequence. We did warrior 1 with lots of big arm circles, but we know that they help wake us up. Provide some mobility into the shoulders, open the heart space, and help us connect with our breathing. When your arms get around to the top now, just let them stay there, warrior one. And we've done several back bends, so we might feel more inclined this morning to look up our wall and draw our thumbs further back. Now you'll notice my hands are slightly apart this morning, a bit more comfortable across the neck and shoulders if you do that. But of course, you can also have palms touching. From this warrior one, we're going to open ourselves to warrior two, but immediately straighten both legs and draw ourselves into triangle. Right hand onto that right shin. Or again, if your block is right there, then grab a hold of it, put it on the mat, right beside your big toe. So think back to when we did side plank pose and kneeling, right? I talked about having nice straight arms. Here's where it comes in, those straight arms again, stacking the top arm over your bottom arm. Trying to rotate your heart towards the sky. In a heart focused class, and every time our heart is drawn towards the sun or the sky, it's believed that it increases in energy. One more breath in here. We're going to start to bend our front knee and take that arm a little more over the head. Yes, extended side angle pose. Right knee is now bent. You can rotate your block lower if you're using it, or maybe you're just having elbow rest on your thigh. That's also a great option here. Use that elbow, however it is, on the thigh or on the block. Use it to turn your belly button towards the ceiling some more. Come up into that warrior two. Pause here for a moment. Stretch that front knee more to the front. Now, if your toes disappear, you can't see them anymore. That's a good notice that you can now go a bit bigger in your stance. You have a bit more flexibility at the hip joints. Think about the chest rising with every breath in. Energy going out, down both arms. In traditional Chinese medicine, the heart meridian line actually runs across and down the arms. So I actually even think it goes down to the ring finger. So feel those fingers spreading apart. Take one more breath in. One more exhale out. Then turn that front palm, right palm up. Reach it all the way up to the ceiling. Peaceful warrior pose. Just one more opportunity to stretch out the ribs. Last breath in. And exhale, slowly lower those hands. Let's bring our block across, turn our right toes, turn our left toes. Turn our body actually fully to face this end of the room and begin with your arm circles. So yes, you now might be facing away from me, but we know these couple poses. We started in warrior one with arms circling. This is your last circle. When you get to the top, please just stay there in warrior one. Now, thinking if you can of making a bit more of a back bend where we drew our thumbs a bit further behind us. We bent our front knee a bit deeper, raised the eyes and the chin. Beautiful. From this warrior one, open yourself big, straighten both legs, and then take your left hand down to your left shin for triangle, or knee, or block, wherever that left hand wants to go this morning. Trying to imagine opening, broadening the chest. Right. We all tend to look at our phones or read books or work on computers. All of these things bring those arms a little more in front of our bodies. It's a great opportunity here just to take the arm back, right, broaden across your chest. Two straight knees. All 10 toes are spread like roots into your mat. And then we're going to bend that left knee. We're going to lift our body all the way up. Warrior two. So that left knee began to bend again. Now I've noticed I can't see the ends of my toes, so good indicator to slide that back foot a little further back. Make sure our knee is then right over our ankle joint. You can see just the ends of my toes. Maybe we're trying to send energy all the way out to the very ends of my fingers. And you can always peek back over that front arm, or back arm, I should say, to make sure it's as high as your front. Turn the front palm up. Lean back into peaceful warrior. Again, the backhand, so important. It's just resting on the back leg. We never want to feel like we're compressing into or on the knee in any way. Instead, I want you to feel like your fingers are just always sliding down. Every time I exhale, I slide them down a fraction further. Gently return back up. Turn your toes. Come back to the front of your mat. Let's do one sun salutation this morning. One big breath in, reach all the way up. We feel really energized. Exhale, diving down slowly. Taking an inhale, half lift, chest expand. And an exhale that the hands come back to the mat. You step back and you lower your body. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward dog. Pause here in downward dog now. Just pedal out your feet, out your heels. Stretch through your back. So again, like child's pose, downward dog can be seen as like a self-compassion pose, a self-healing pose. Your heart sort of protected and hidden down towards the mat. So again, if you feel like you've just been giving a lot of yourself recently, so a little more time in your downward dog or in your child's pose. After we pedaled here, we're going to lower the knees back to the floor. We're going to come to sitting. We're going to keep this idea of self-compassion going as we bring our legs to the front. We might flush our bum muscles back. If you find your room's a little cold, this might be the perfect moment to put some socks back on since we're now in seated. We're going to start with staff pose though, hands by our side. Press those hands on the floor and lift the chest up. Exhale to remain in this nice straight legs and straight back position. When you breathe in again, you get a little taller, heart expanding. Exhale, maintain. Inhale, feel not only that you're going upwards, but your heart is leaning towards your toes. Beautiful. Gently return upright. Reach both arms over the head. And then let yourself just fall forward. Take your time. If you're feeling very stiff myself this morning, so maybe not reaching for my feet, reaching up onto the legs as I am. Or if your strap, again, you brought it out this morning, why not? Wrap it around the bottom of the feet. I want you to breathe into whatever area of your body is feeling tight. Slowly rise yourself back up. We're gonna take those hands behind our body next. Again, if your wrists are sore, you can do this one on your elbows or you can bend your knees. I'm gonna do a straight legs though. Eyes look straight up at your ceiling above you. And then with pointed toes, you lift your bum 1 inch, 2 inches or more off of your mat. Intense westward facing pose. Or sometimes known as reverse plank pose. Right? Our chest has to be wide open here. Our glutes, hamstrings really active. See if you can gather in a final 2 breaths. 1. And then very slowly lower ourselves back down. Good. Take those feet, bring them into butterfly stretch. I'm going to face towards you. Just get see. We know the butterfly though. Soles of the feet are together. Cover up our toes with our fingers. Keep them warm. Sit tall. And then lean forward. Taking the chin towards the front of your mat or way out in front of you. Slowly release. Let's gather those knees up and move on to our back. Lying on our back. Start by hugging our knees into our chest. Giving those knees a gentle rock from side to side. We're going to finish our practice today with a heart meditation. Again, if you have a colder room than myself, you might be adding some socks, a layer of clothing, a warm blanket over you as you decide to send your legs slowly out to that corpse pose finish. Once you're fully relaxed, I'm going to ask you to take both of your hands onto your chest, stacking one over the other. I want you to take a few noticeable breaths into your chest. Start to envision the color green emitting from your heart when you breathe in. The heart chakra is always pictured as a 12-petaled lotus flower, always in the color green. And it has 2 triangles on the inside of the flower in the symbol. One that faces up and the other facing down. just before, or as we begin into meditation, there was a great study about gratitude and those who start their day by, thanking or thinking about the things they're most grateful for tend to feel the most joy and love and happiness. What I'm going to ask you to do is for the next minute or two, as you're breathing into your hands, feeling your heartbeat, just to think about 2 or 3 things today that you feel the most grateful for at this moment. Slowly letting your hands away. Begin by wiggling your toes, your fingers. See those arms, stretching them slowly up to the ceiling and over your head. Then rolling onto your favorite side. And any time throughout the day, coming back to those things that you felt the most grateful for at this moment as you blink your eyes and press yourself slowly up to sitting. Crossing the legs if that's comfortable, taking one final huge inhale all the way up. Pull all that good energy down to the center of your chest. Say namaste and thank you. Have a wonderful day.